guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in Your Kitchen, I want to share with you my kale, apple, and walnut salad. It is so delicious, so easy, and I'm just going to tell you, I do like some rich foods, and I love indulging around the holidays, but even I am in need of something green, fresh, crunchy, delicious, good for you, and this is such a great way for me to explain to everyone that you really can have salads in the colder months. It's just about finding different ingredients that are available in season, and this just does it for me. It's one of my favorite go-tos, and I hope you'll enjoy it too. Let me take you over the ingredients so we can get started. You'll need some fresh kale, and I'll talk about this in a minute. I've got some walnuts here that I've roughly chopped. I've got some goat cheese crumbles. I've got an apple, some olive oil. What I have here is some champagne vinegar and also a little smidge of honey in here. I've got some whole grain mustard, salt, pepper, and a little extra olive oil. That is it. To this salad, you can do anything you want. Think of this as just a basic ingredient. If you want to change to different greens, by all means, go ahead and do so. You don't like goat cheese, but you prefer feta? Add feta. You don't want to add apple, you want to add pear? Add pears. Different nuts, add different nuts, different vinegars, different citrus. You could add some dried cranberries to this. Really, the world is your pickle, and in this case, the salad is all you, boo. So you do what you want, you use things you love, and also things you have on hand. I always have kale on hand, so that's what I'm using. First thing I'm gonna do, I have a skillet here, dry skillet, there's nothing in it. I'm going to add my walnut pieces, and I'm gonna toast them to really release their oils and flavors. Now, what I have here is some kale that I have just stripped from the stem. The stem is really inedible, it's really hard. And I'm gonna get rid of that, and then I just chopped the leaves in rough, like bite-sized pieces. Now, you can find in most grocery stores, you can find pre-washed baby kale greens. Right next to the box of spinach, right next to the box of arugula, they should have it. If they don't have it, that's really great. You don't have to do nothing to it, no chopping, no nothing. It's really nice and tender kale greens, but if you don't have them and you only have regular kale available, which is what I was able to get my hands on this morning, then I'm going to share with you how to make it nice and tender. To my kale, which has been washed, I'm going to add a drizzle of olive oil. Not much, about maybe less than a tablespoon really. And I know that you're thinking, what am I doing? But just hear me out. What I'm doing with clean hands is I'm taking the olive oil and massaging my kale. Now what this does is it breaks down the kale a bit and makes it a little more tender and not so tough. It makes it really nice and tender, and really you can really eliminate the step if you want to. I often do, but for today I feel like getting a little close and personal to my kale, so I'm going to give it a good massage, keep my eye out on my walnuts, and then we'll pull the whole thing off. Now I've peeled my apple, and this is a Granny Smith apple. You could leave the peel on if you wanted to, or use different kind of apple, but I've peeled it, and I'm going to thinly slice it, not too thin. I prefer using a Granny Smith because I love that it has a little tang to it. It's not super sweet, and I really like that. So you can also chop this or dice it however you want. You can see my kale, it's actually gotten greener. It's gotten even deeper in color from massaging it, and I only massaged it for about 2-3 minutes, not too long. And I'm going to add my apple right to my kale. This is gorgeous. You can also add some onion in here if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. I've got my toasted walnuts, and now I'm going to make my dressing really quickly. I love making dressings into these little jars because it just makes really easy. Just shake it up. To my olive oil, I've got some whole grain mustard. You could also use Dijon if you wanted to. I've got my honey and my vinegar. This is champagne vinegar, but if you want to use white wine, red wine vinegar, whatever, that's totally fine. The honey is a great counterbalance to the acidity from the vinegar. And then some salt and ground black pepper. I do need a good pinch of salt. And then just put the lid on. Right? That's one thing I'm always scared about with these jar dressings, is that I don't have the lid on really well. Get my mop-in, my kitchen towel, wrap it around so that if anything happens, it doesn't go all over your kitchen, and just shake to mix the whole thing all together. And then just pour this golden gorgeousness all over your salad. And now just using clean hands, toss everything together, and it is just so smelling so good. I love it, love it, love it. And I don't mix the goat cheese crumbles in at this point because I like to make sure that my greens are really dressed well. Then I take them, put them into a nice serving bowl, like so. That way the goat cheese crumbles stay right on top and don't get like soggy or anything from the dressing. My apple, some beautiful dried cranberries would be lovely here. Let me take my mop-peen, wipe my hands really quickly, and then you just take your goat cheese crumbles. And again, whatever cheese you prefer, my friend, do as much or as little as you want. Now this salad, believe it or not, it's just for Joe and I. Just a light snack, but it's actually going to be our main dinner because it's very filling, and we did have a really late lunch, so it's all good. I'm going to take a nice bite. I want everything. I want kale, I want apple, I want goat cheese, I want it all because I'm greedy like that. Money. That is delicious. I love it. I don't have anything to say. It's delicious, not too tart from the vinegar, just such a great balance of flavors. And again, play around with flavors you like. Add whatever you have on hand. Some roasted sweet potato fries in here, not potato fries, but some roasted sweet potato wedges would be really nice here as well. And it's just, you can do so many different things with it, and I hope that you give it a try. To get this recipe, go to laurainthekitchen.com. I'm going in for seconds because I can. Hope you've enjoyed spending time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.